Russia is building the most insane fighter jet ever conceived. The US is terrified. If this fighter jet takes its first flight, nothing can stop it. It's insane. But there is one major problem Russia faces in building this jet. If Russia manages to solve that issue, we could be entering a new era of modern warfare. Yet many American YouTubers mock this project and call it unrealistic. So what is the truth? Can Russia really build a fighter jet more impressive than anything we've seen in sci-fi movies? How capable is this jet, and why could it change the entire world order forever? Most importantly, what is America's plan to stop this fighter jet from becoming reality? Stay with us until the end, because we saved the best part for last. The United States doesn't just have an air force. It has the largest air force the planet has ever seen. Thousands of aircraft, massive bomber fleets, and an ocean of aerial refueling tankers. This machine is designed for one purpose: to crush the military of a major nation in a matter of days. But during the Cold War, the Soviets discovered a dangerous truth. America's air dominance has a weak point, a single lifeline: fuel tankers. Without them, America's fighters fall silent, its bombers turn back, its global reach collapses. And that realization gave birth to the MiG-25. During the US invasion of Iraq, while nearly the entire Iraqi Air Force was erased from the sky, one aircraft broke the pattern. The MiG-25, the only Iraqi fighter to shoot down an American F-18 and even damage an F-15. And remember, those MiG-25s were heavily downgraded. Then Russia took the idea further. They transformed the MiG-25 into the MiG-31, not a dogfighter, not a showpiece, but a hunter. A machine built to kill tankers, bombers, and AWACS aircraft from extreme distances and extreme altitudes. The MiG-31 could climb above 25 kilometers. It could push past 3,000 kilometers per hour. And from that height and speed, it could launch the R-37 missile, reaching targets more than 400 kilometers away. This wasn't just a fighter jet, it was a message. And it terrified Air Force planners. So Russia asked a new question. What if we go even further? What if we build an aircraft so fast, so high, and so unreachable that interception becomes almost impossible? That question leads directly to the MiG-41, a fighter designed to operate at 50 kilometers altitude, to surge forward at Mach 4.3 over 5,300 kilometers per hour, to cruise above Mach 3 with a combat range of around 2,000 kilometers. Intercepting such an aircraft wouldn't be about skill, it would be about physics. At those speeds and altitudes, even hypersonic interceptors struggle. And unlike missiles, this aircraft can maneuver. We've seen this before. The SR-71 Blackbird was targeted more than 300 times and never shot down. Not because it was invisible, but because it was untouchable. Yes, the SR-71 paid a price. Nearly 80% of its airframes were retired under extreme structural stress. But the MiG-31 has flown for decades. And the MiG-41 is meant to go even further. And here's the real point. The MiG-41 isn't about chasing sci-fi fantasies. It's not about bragging rights. Russia has one mission for this aircraft. A mission so specific, so disruptive, that it sends a chill through American war rooms. Most people think the fighter jet is the most important part of aerial warfare. That assumption is wrong. A modern fighter jet is never alone. It is constantly talking, sharing data with other aircraft, receiving intelligence from AWACS, satellites, and ground stations. Modern air combat isn't about one jet. It's about the network. And now imagine this network being attacked, not by a virus, not by cyber warfare, but by another fighter jet. This is where the MiG-41 becomes truly frightening. One of its key missions is anti-satellite warfare. Yes, that alone is alarming. But the most terrifying part is how it would do it. A single MiG-41 could theoretically disable hundreds of spy satellites, not with missiles, but with lasers. On the ground, laser weapons are limited. Rain, clouds, dust, almost anything can weaken them. Without perfectly clear skies, lasers lose effectiveness fast. But at 50 kilometers above Earth, those limitations disappear. There is no weather, no dust, no interference. A laser that barely reaches 10 kilometers at sea level could stretch hundreds of kilometers at the edge of space. And this isn't science fiction anymore. The United States, Russia, and China are all actively developing laser weapons for satellites. This is happening now. But the MiG-41 doesn't stop there. It could also defend itself in ways few aircraft ever have. The MiG-41 is expected to intercept incoming missiles in mid-air, not just by evading them, but by destroying them with a laser. This technology already exists today, though it is currently used to disrupt heat-seeking missiles by targeting their infrared seekers. Now imagine that capability combined with extreme altitude and speed. Speaking of infrared, another massive advantage of the MiG-41 is temperature. At very high altitudes, the air is brutally cold. That lowers the aircraft's surface temperature, making it harder to detect by infrared sensors, which dominate modern air combat. Compare that to fighters like the F-22. Despite its stealth, the F-22 generates intense heat due to speed and air friction, causing it to glow in infrared. This is one reason the US keeps the F-35's top speed relatively low, around Mach 1.6. Speed creates heat. Heat creates visibility. But the MiG-41 is designed to operate where the rules are different. And we still haven't reached the most important part, the one capability that could make the MiG-41 not just better, but unmatched. The feature that may put it generations ahead of America's future F-47. That's coming next. You often hear people compare missiles by range and speed, but here's the part most don't understand. Missile performance is not fixed. It changes dramatically based on how and where the missile is launched. Take Russia's Iskander-M missile. Launched from the ground, it has a range of about 500 kilometers and a speed of Mach 5. But make a few changes, launch it from high altitude, and you get the Kinzhal. Now the speed jumps to Mach 9. The range stretches to 2,000 kilometers. Same missile family, different launch platform. That's the power of altitude. Now imagine the MiG-41, launching a missile from 50 kilometers above Earth while traveling at Mach 4. That missile doesn't just become faster, it becomes an entirely different weapon, up to 20 times more dangerous than if it were fired from the ground. Air-to-air missiles gain massive increases in speed and range, and that is the true purpose of the MiG-41. Not to create new missiles, but to turn existing ones into nightmares. Take the R-37M. When launched from a Su-35, its range is around 400 kilometers. But fired from a MiG-41, that same missile could potentially exceed 1,000 kilometers. Yes, the booster would need adjustments to operate at extreme altitude, but the result is unavoidable. A weapon that was already deadly becomes catastrophic. The MiG-41 isn't just a fighter jet, it is a missile launch platform. Air-to-air missiles with ranges beyond 1,000 kilometers designed to wipe out enemy AWACS and fuel tankers. Air-to-ground ballistic weapons with ranges reaching 4,000 kilometers, capable of precise surgical strikes against heavily protected targets. And it doesn't end there. If Russia develops an electronic warfare variant, fully integrated with artificial intelligence, the MiG-41 could disrupt satellite signals, intercept communications, and even hack enemy networks in real time. It wouldn't just blind enemy fighters, it would blind the entire battlefield. But there is one problem: money. Unlike the United States or China, Russia faces serious financial limits when it comes to projects this ambitious and revolutionary. To succeed, Russia would need to export more weapons, like the US and China do, or find international partners. India, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and others. But Russia must take this project seriously, because history has a warning. If they don't, the MiG-41 could share the same fate as the Su-47. Brilliant, revolutionary, and abandoned. And yet, if even part of this vision becomes reality, the balance of air power could shift forever. If you want more content like this, join our Telegram channel, where the discussion is uncensored and unfiltered. Like the video, subscribe, and support the channel. This is East Wind Brigade, where our voices unite and we rise together.